It may take weeks before we get the full picture of the Putra Heights gas explosion, but today, Selangor's top cops shed new light on the case. From digging works to unstable ground, police are piecing together what happened beneath the surface.
Selangor police have confirmed that digging activities occurred before the gas pipeline explosion in Putra Heights and was stopped on March 30.
Jadi pihak polis mengesahkan bahawa ada satu aktiviti korek tanah yang telah berlaku sebelum kejadian, dan kerja-kerja itu adalah untuk menggantikan paip kumbahan yang berada lebih kurang 30 meter daripada pusat letupan itu. Okay. Jadi pihak polis telah mengenal pasti developer, telah kenal pasti kontraktor, subkontraktor dan pekerja-pekerja yang terlibat, yang menggunakan dua jentera, satu adalah backhoe dan satu lagi adalah excavator.
In a press conference today, Selangor Police Chief Hussein Omar confirmed that statements have been taken from 56 witnesses, including residents as well as contractor workers. Meanwhile, Hussein said authorities will require at least another 2 weeks to prepare a preliminary report on the incident.
Disebabkan letupan yang besar itu, dia punya impact menyebabkan lari struktur ataupun landscape asal kawasan tersebut. Jadi kawasan tersebut tidak stabil pada masa ini. Jadi kerja-kerja dalam 2-3 hari ini adalah kerja-kerja untuk menstabilkan kawasan tersebut supaya once dia stabil baru kita boleh korek dan dapatkan keterangan-keterangan dari segi paip, ada bahan letupan ke lain-lain, apa-apa keterangan fizikal yang boleh digunakan oleh pihak siasatan teknikal ni.
Meanwhile, a breath of relief for fire victims in Putra Heights. Over 100 temporary homes are on the way, with more returning to their own homes starting today.
The Selangor Housing and Real Estate Board (LPHS) will offer over 100 temporary homes to victims of gas pipeline fire in Putra Heights, Subang Jaya. Menteri Besar Amiruddin Syari said some of the units are located in Kota Warisan Sepang, with more locations to be announced under the Selangor Smart Sewa Scheme.
Dan hari ini saya menerima berita gembira apabila pihak Lembaga Perumahan dan Hartanah Selangor ada menawarkan lebih 100 unit rumah untuk kepada mangsa-mangsa dalam bentuk smart sewa. Jadi kalau semuanya berjalan dengan baik, dalam tempoh seminggu 2 minggu lagi kita boleh tempatkan mereka ini di rumah yang ditawarkan oleh Airbnb dan juga di smart sewa.
He added that more victims are expected to return home starting today. The second group to be allowed back are residents of 115 homes that have been assessed and declared safe to reoccupy. Earlier, Amiruddin attended the handover ceremony for loan vehicles provided to fire victims at the Temporary Relief Centre at the Putra Heights Mosque. Also present were Digital Minister Gobing Singh Dio and Selangor Investment, Trade and Mobility Committee Chairperson Eng Zihan.
Anwar Ibrahim once criticized him, and now he's keeping him? Azam Baki is expected to get another term as MACC boss, but not without backlash.
Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim is expected to approve another 6-month extension for MACC Chief Azam Baki, his third since taking office. According to Bloomberg, the extension is likely to be announced in early May, though plans may still change. Sources told the news outlet that a full-year extension was considered but rejected, fearing public backlash. Azam and the MACC have faced intense criticism, especially over actions targeting Anwar's political rivals like Dr. Mahathir's family and the late Daim Zainuddin. Meanwhile, the Commission has been accused of ignoring complaints involving Anwar's allies. Bloomberg also reported claims of a possible quid pro quo, where Azam's extension was tied to acting against Anwar's opponents, an allegation both men deny. The Prime Minister's office did not respond to Bloomberg's queries, and the MACC declined to comment. Critics including Rafizi Ramli and Azam's predecessor Latifah Koya continue to question his leadership and impartiality.
Meanwhile, Anwar said no decision has been made yet on whether Azam Baki's term will be extended when it ends in May. Speaking to reporters today, he also dismissed reports claiming he plans to grant a 6-month extension. Moving on to the next story, the pot calls the kettle black. Former PM Dr. Mahathir, once labelled a dictator himself, is now accusing Anwar of ruling with an iron fist.
Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, once branded as an iron-fisted leader, is now turning the tables, accusing Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim of acting like a dictator. As he approaches his 100th birthday, the former premier aimed at Anwar's so-called unity government, calling it anything but unified. In a Facebook post, Mahathir compared Anwar's administration to Winston Churchill's wartime coalition, which included rival political parties working together without demanding loyalty to the Prime Minister. In contrast, Mahathir claimed that Anwar's government demands full allegiance and punishes dissent. He said parties whose MPs don't back Anwar are shut out from government, raising doubts about the unity label. However, critics were quick to point out the irony. Mahathir himself was accused of stifling dissent during his 22-year reign, detaining over 100 people without trial under the Internal Security Act. Anwar, once a fierce critic of Mahathir's authoritarian style, now faces similar allegations from the opposition.
A viral video on TikTok sparks political drama over just 100 ringgit aid. Now Stephen Sim's adopted daughter is caught in the crossfire and her family is fighting back.
The family of Stephen Sim's adopted daughter has written 100 ringgit to Permatang Pauh MP from PAS Fawaz Mahmad Jan. This comes after a viral video claimed the girl received financial aid from Fawaz while the Human Resources Minister provided none. Sim's Special Officer Rosli Yusof confirmed the money was returned to protect the family's dignity, adding that a police report and legal action would follow. The teenager's father informed Fawaz's aide about the return and was assured the video would be investigated. Earlier, Sim condemned the opposition for dragging his adopted daughter into political attacks, stating that while criticism against him was acceptable, targeting the teenager was crossing the line. Rosli clarified that the girl received 200 ringgit monthly under Sim's YB's Adopted Child program and has been consistently supported in her studies. The Bukit Mertajam MP adopted the teenager last year, pledging to fund her education until completion.
Wall Street takes a beating. U.S. stocks suffered their worst plunge since 2020 after President Trump slaps hefty tariffs on key trade partners.
U.S. stocks saw their worst single-day drop since 2020 after President Donald Trump announced new reciprocal tariffs on Wednesday. A baseline 10% tariff will apply to most countries with higher rates for key trade partners. China faces 54%, Vietnam 46% and the EU 20%. Due to supply chain concerns, the tariffs triggered a market sell-off, with Apple plunging over 9% and Nvidia down more than 7%. The market capitalization of the so-called Magnificent Seven tech stocks lost a staggering $900 billion in market value. The Dow Jones tumbled nearly 4%, the S&P 500 fell 4.8%, and the Nasdaq plummeted almost 6%. Trump downplayed the market reaction, comparing the move to a patient getting operated on and predicting a future boom. Meanwhile, the U.S. trade deficit shrank to $122.7 billion in February, and jobless claims dropped to 219,000, which is lower than expected. The VIX or Fear Index surged nearly 40% to 30.02, reflecting investor anxiety.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you would like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Camelia, and this is Kini News.